Bringing the rest of the world from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Live from the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, it's the U.S. Olympic trials in gymnastics. Tonight, the second of two nights of all-around competition for the women. And at the end of the night, at least two of these gymnasts will know officially that they're going to be on the team that represents the United States at the Olympic Games in Beijing.
Earning a spot in the Olympic team is one of the most important things these girls have to accomplish. They have to prove that they're able to perform their routines under these pressure situations, because it will come down to perfection. If you're not able to perform under these situations, then you obviously would not be the right player.
This is a one-shot deal.
So much riding on this.
This is a very big moment for Sam Pejik.
Oh! Yeah, she's fighting to make this team. Oh, a little bit short.
Nastia Lukin, coming from Olympic DNA.
Perfect.
Best ever.
Yes.
Here's a kid right off a cereal box. Shawn Johnson, two-time national champion.
No problem there. That is crazy.
This kid just knows how to compete.
Watch this, though. She explodes. Oh, God.
She just looks like an Olympian.
Beautiful extension. She rocked it. Phenomenal.
Can it get any better?
Spectacular in every way. This Olympic picture is rapidly developing.
Okay, with the stage set, Bob Costas once again joined by Bella Caroli, whose wife Marta was one of the stars who you just saw and is the coach of the women's gymnastics team. Now, Bella has been with us throughout this trials weekend, and he'll be back with us in Beijing. The top two gymnasts here automatically earned spots on the Olympic team, and coming in, just about everyone was certain that Shawn Johnson and Nastia Lukin would claim those two spots. But already tonight, Lukin has faltered just a bit with a couple of rough spots on the uneven bars, which are normally her best event. So, Bella, what do you make of it?
My statement would be, these are the two best gymnasts of the world. I mean, here it is, Shawn Johnson, the reigning world champion, Nastia Lukin with 9 world championship medals under her belt. These two young athletes came here to decide who's going to be the leader, who is the one who's going to lead this great American team into the Olympic Games. And I'm telling you, the rivalry and the nerves are real high. But it's a positive rivalry. So should be a positive rivalry between them. And sure, they try to sort out who is going to be the one who's going to be our leader.
So as a coach, you like that kind of internal competition?
I love it. I love it, dearly love it. Remember, every competition needs to be reinforced. The motive force behind is the rivalry. If you don't feel nothing, if you lay back and waiting for something, that's nothing. That's no progress in that one. They have to fight. They have to be a rival. Then, finally, they're going to sort out between them who's going to be the best.
I'm pretty sure that you're feeling something. You seem to be ready for tonight's competition. There's some news already, though, on the men's side. 4 more men were named to the Olympic team today, joining Paul Hamm and Jonathan Horton, who were selected yesterday. Those 4 are Morgan Hamm, Joe Haggerty, Justin Spring, and Kevin Tan, with Raj Bavsar, Alexander Artemev, and David Durante as the alternates. Now, more on that a bit later. But now, as the women's competition continues, here are Al Troutwig, Tim Daggett, and Elfie Schlegel.
Okay, Bob, and the competition underway live, and that's one of the reasons why the Wachovia Center is almost dead silent. Nerves and tension have to be a big reason why we have seen some of those developments that you and Bella talked about. We'll recap everything that has happened, plus we expect more to come in the next 2 hours. But right now, one of the 2 most important faces in women's gymnastics, Shawn Johnson, who is leading, but not by much.
And, you know, as was alluded to, Nastia, on her very best event on even bars, she opened the door, made it a heck of a lot easier for Shawn Johnson to come away from the final trials as the absolute #1 gymnast.
And as we've learned from Shawn Johnson, she rarely makes mistakes. She has come into these trials well-trained and on her way to winning this event.
Another release. Dead on.
And again, we've talked about this. It's not her highest scoring event, but what Shawn does, she does so well. She knows the importance of gluing those legs together, pointing those toes.
The only thing left is the dismount, and she has not been landing so well. She said that she's just got to do it like in the gym. Well, another solid, very, very solid routine from Shawn Johnson.
Ling Chow, her coach, born in China, he and his wife there came and opened up a gym, which was underwater last week in those horrible Midwestern floods. Now, this is where we are after the first rotation as we come to you live in the second rotation. Shawn Johnson's lead was 5/10 over Nastia Lukin. And then we started things off with Shawn Johnson on the vault as the very first competitor. Samantha Pejic just in front of Chelsea Memel. That is after the first of 4 rotations here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So here is how the competition got started with Shawn Johnson, the 2-time national champion and all-around world champion.
And the importance of this vault for Shawn Johnson at these trials is numbers, getting it done at big competitions under pressure. It's a new vault for her.
And, you know, you see that step forward and you wonder, is she trying to get rid of it? Not yet. You know, it's a new vault, a blind landing, and if you are too aggressive on this, it's so easy to sit it down. She says she wants to take a step forward, a small one, but she just needs to really rock it right off of this horse, and she does that. She does a half twist more than anybody else in the competition, and thus the most difficult vault has a maximum score of 16.5.
And of course, what Shawn has been doing so beautifully each and every time out performing this vault is she's getting great height, great distance, and really the only thing leading to Beijing is fixing that landing.
And the judges gave her a score of 15.9, which was a little bit less than she scored on the first night of competition. So an opportunity then, moments later, for Nastia Lukin to close the gap between her and Shawn Johnson in this quote-unquote rivalry.
And this is where she actually needs a big routine because she loses a lot on the vault to Shawn Johnson, starts a full point lower, and she can do that. She's in my opinion, the best bar worker in the world.
And we've noticed in practice how hard she's working on hitting those perfect handstands.
And because of that, she's actually trying to be too perfect is what it comes down to. She didn't have enough speed over, was going for an exact handstand.
And an amazing recovery.
You just don't see her falter, but we saw this in training too. Just way too close to the bar. Doesn't get her hands down to that low bar quick enough so she can push away. And that's a huge deduction.
And at this point, her brain had to be exploding.
Yeah, because she just doesn't make these mistakes. In warm-ups, just about 10 minutes ago, I saw her do this bar routine better than ever.
Sometimes it's better to say nothing. That's her father, a former Soviet Olympic gold medalist, Valery Lukin. Between the Memels, we have a definite father-daughter theme working through these Olympic trials. So, Tim, when you say she's trying to be too perfect, what went wrong in this routine? Because it was more than one mistake.
Well, exactly. She has to finish every single skill directly in a handstand. And with the type of elements that she's doing, the closer you come to that direct handstand with the full turns, the more difficult and the bigger mistake you can make.
Valery just walks away. It's got to be a very difficult line to walk.
Let's go, Bridget.
One moment you're the coach, the next minute you're father, and then sometimes you have to be both at the same time.
And you know, she's working so hard at these positions that Tim mentioned, because it's not just about here at the Olympic trials. She's looking beyond. She's looking Beijing, because at the Olympic Games, she had lost the World Championship gold medal. She wants a gold medal in Beijing.
And all of those were perfect. This one, perfect, but just a little too early. Not enough to get over the bar. And then another release skill. And when you transition from the low bar to the high bar, very critical that you're the exact right distance away. She's too close to that low bar, and she just can't recover.
The weird thing about it is, as they still go through damage control, she cut Shawn Johnson's lead in half, even with those mistakes. This opened a door for Chelsea Memel, who was right on the outside of the top two. Remember, the top two spots are guaranteed to the Olympics at the end of competition tonight. So you can see the major mistakes that came right out of the box of this Olympic trials. That was a chance for Chelsea, and it was an opportunity lost. That is her dad, Andy. Chelsea received a 14.2, which is